Hello, this is lecture number 1 for the chapter complex numbers of class 11th, and we are starting with the solution of a quadratic equation when the discriminant of that quadratic equation is less than 0. So the quadratic equation x square plus 1 equal to 0 has no real roots as x square plus 1 is equal to 0 gives x square is equal to minus 1, and the square of every real number is non-negative. Here the main objective is to solve the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 where discriminant, that is b square minus 4ac, is less than 0, which is not possible in case of real numbers. So in this chapter we'll deal those quadratic equation which have a discriminant less than 0, or we can say that its discriminant is not a real number. So when the square of any number is equal to negative number, then it is known as the imaginary number, not a real number. It is the opposite of real number. If the square of any number is a negative number, then we say that it is a imaginary number, and it is denoted by this I sign, which is called as iota. So root minus 1 will be equal to let it equal to I or iota, or we can say that squaring both the sides, the square of I will be equal to minus 1, squaring both the sides. Or if we find the value of I cube, we can write it as I square into I, and the value of I square is minus 1. So minus 1 into I will be equal to minus I. So I square is equal to minus 1, I cube is equal to minus I raised to 4 will be equal to I square into I square, which will equal to minus 1 into minus 1, that is 1. So the value of I raised to power 4 is equal to 1, or we can say that when the power of I is equal to multiple of 4, then the value of that is equal to 1. So we can conclude that I square is equal to minus 1, I cube is equal to minus I, and I raised to power 4 is equal to 1. So this is the imaginary number. Now the complex number, a number in the form of a plus ib, where a and b are real numbers, is defined to be a complex number. So any number in the form a plus ib, where a and b both are real numbers, is defined to be a complex number. For example, 2 plus 3i, minus 1 plus root 3i, 4 plus 11 upon 30i are complex numbers. For the complex number, we generally denote by z, let it equal to a plus ib. A is called the real part of the complex number. It is denoted by rez. A is the real part of the complex number, and B is the imaginary part of the complex number, and it is denoted by Re of Z is equal to A, and B is the imaginary part, and it is denoted by Im of Z equal to B. For example, if Z is equal to minus 2 plus 3i, then the real part of Z is minus 2 and imaginary part is 3. I only denote the imaginary part. Addition and subtraction of the complex numbers. Let z1 be a plus ib and z2 be c plus id be the true complex number, then z1 plus z2 will be equal to a plus c plus ib plus d. Means when we add two complex numbers, then the real part will be added with the real part, and imaginary part will be added with imaginary part. See it. A with c will be added, B with D will be added, but these are the real part of Z1 and Z2. Similarly, for the difference of the two complex number, subtract the real part of the complex number with the subtract the real part of both the complex number, and subtract the imaginary part of both the complex number for the addition and subtraction of the complex number. Similarly, there is a multiplication of the complex number. Let us say we have two complex numbers, z1 and z2 be a plus ib and z2 be c plus id. Then the two complex number, then z1 will be z1 into z2 will be ac minus bd, plus imaginary part will be ad plus dc. You simply multiply these two by distributive law, collect the real part with real part and imaginary part with imaginary part, you will get this. So the power of I, we have already discussed that when the power of I is a multiple of 4, then it is equal to 1. And I raised to the power 4 plus 1, 1 more than multiple of 4, then its value is I. 2 more than the multiple of 4, then its value is minus 1. 3 more than the multiple of 4, then its value is I. It will be minus I. For any k be any integer. Then square root of a complex, square root of a negative real number, that is root minus a, we have already discussed. You can write like this, minus a into a, and ai minus root minus 1 will be equal to I root ai. For example, when we have root minus 4, square root of a negative number, then root 4i, you can write like this, root 4 into root minus I. For root minus 1, you can write I, and it is equal to 2i. Simple. Root 4, remove I, put I, remove negative, put I, you will get 2i. Modulus of and a conjugate of a complex number. Let z is equal to a plus ib is any complex number, then the modulus of z is denoted by this sign. Modulus sign is defined to be the non-negative real number under root a square plus b square. This is the modulus of z, or we can say modulus of z is equal to under root a square plus b square, and the conjugate of z is denoted by this z bar is the complex number a minus ib. It means you have to change the sign of the imaginary part. The conjugate of z is denoted by this, and it will be equal to a minus ib. Now z into z conjugate, if we multiply a complex number by its conjugate, then a plus ib into a minus ib, which is the conjugate of z, you multiply simply a square minus I square b square, then I square is equal to minus 1, that comes out to be this a square plus b square, which is the square of the modulus of z. So we can say that z into z conjugate is equal to modulus of z square. Now after that, for any two complex numbers, z1 and z2, z1 to z2, modulus of z1 to z2 will be equal to modulus of z1 into z2. Modulus of z1 upon z2 will be equal to modulus of z1 upon modulus of z2 if z2 is not equal to 0. z1 into z2 modulus will be equal to z1 modulus into z2 modulus. You can prove that very easily by putting the value of z1 is equal to a plus ib and z2 is equal to c plus id. When you multiply left and right, find the value of left hand side and right hand side, you get the same value. Similarly is this, z1 upon z2 whole conjugate will be equal to z1 conjugate upon z2 conjugate, where z2 is not equal to 0. Now after that we can come to an important part of the complex number, that is polar form of a complex number. Let P represent the non-zero complex number z, where z is equal to x plus ib. Let the direction line segment OP be the length r and theta is the angle which OP make with the positive direction of x-axis. So we let any point P which represent a complex number z is equal to x plus iy. So it's x and y. This is a Argand plane, we call it it. So let this point be represent this complex number xy. Let the distance of this point from the origin be r, and theta is the angle made by this line segment OB. Positive direction be theta. So this value distance will be x and this distance will be y, because the coordinate of P is x into y. So simply use this coordinate geometry, simply use the trigonometry. Cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse and sin theta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So by using this trigonometry, the x comes out to be r cos theta and y comes out to be r sin theta. Now because z is equal to x plus iv, replace the value of x, that is r cos theta, replace the value of y as r sin theta. So it comes out to be r cos theta plus I r sin theta, r in the bracket cos theta plus I sin theta, which is the polar form of the complex number, where r is known as the modulus of the complex number, which is denoted by this modulus sign, and it is simply equal to, you use the Pythagoras, x square under root x square plus y square is equal to r, and it is known as the modulus of z, and theta is called the argument of which it is denoted by arg, and theta corresponding only one value. Theta we'll discuss. This is known as the argument of the complex number. So let any complex number z is equal to x plus iy, and OP is the length of the point P from the origin. Theta is the angle made by this line segment OP in the positive direction. Then using a trigonometry, cos theta is equal to base upon x upon r and sin theta is equal to y upon r. We have got the value of x and y. Replace this value in x and y, will get the polar form of the complex number, which is equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta. Now theta is known as the argument of the complex number. Now theta can correspond to any one value from 0 to 2 pi. We can take theta as any angle from 0 to 2 pi. However, any other interval of the length 2 pi, that is minus pi to pi. Minus pi means from this to this, and plus pi means from this to this, will represent the total angle of this polar form of the complex number. So that is from minus pi to pi can be such interval. We shall take the value of theta such that theta is greater than minus pi and less than equal to pi. Is called the principal argument of z. The angle can be from 0 to pi, you can take, but to put the principal argument of z, you have to convert the theta or the angle which OP makes with the positive direction of the x-axis. Then you have to take the angle from minus pi to pi. This is known as a principal argument of z. So we have 4 cases. The point can be in the first quadrant, it can be in the second quadrant, it can be in the third quadrant, it can be in the fourth quadrant. Now, if it is in the first quadrant, then the argument will be theta. If in the second quadrant, then the argument will be 180 minus theta. 180 minus theta, this angle made with the positive direction of the x-axis. And if it is the third quadrant, then it will be minus pi 180 minus theta. If you subtract this angle from 180, you will get this. And because in the clockwise direction, we put minus sign. And in the fourth quadrant, if this angle is theta, then the argument will be minus theta. So this is the basics of the complex number, imaginary part, polar form of the complex number of this chapter, the complex number. We'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you.